sorry. What if the guy shows up? Does he miss his window?
That is a very good question.
Can you think about that?
Yeah,
It's time.
I should ask Emily.
All right, well,
And someone should
go
communication.
ahead.
Is there window?
Okay. We'll go ahead and bring this meeting to order. It is now 1800 on the dot.
If it's our turn call,
Okay.
it's your call.
All right, we've called to order. Do we have citizens communication?
We do not.
All right.
Do we have, I don't know.
They're
Oh.
communicating? Or?
Is anyone here communicating? I think you might want to call citizen communication again.
Okay. Do we have any citizen communication from anybody present? All right. Then we'll move on. Has everybody had a chance to look at last month's minutes? Yes. Do I have a motion to approve said minutes? Do I have a second?
Sure.
And we have a second here with Holly. Moving on to our discuss-only items, the library director report, Jennifer Griswold.
Okay, first I want to apologize to Sophie. I did not put your line item on here, but I would like to hear Sophie's student liaison report if you have one.
Actually, I do. Two things. One's just really quiet today, but concerning the book *The Honeys* by Ryan Losaya. They requested the Henderson High School library requested that they get that on the library Sora. *The Honeys* by Ryan Losaya. That was it. They wanted it for the student library.
They're asking us to purchase it? Or?
I think they're asking for y'all to purchase it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So that's it. Otherwise than that, we have something else, which is a proposal. I don't mean to be too monumental, take a lot of action here, but there's a certain proposal that has been brought to my head where we could essentially have, if any land is owned by our local government, that could potentially involve land easement to establish a park with a take a book, leave a book thing, and have the Henderson High School or the Pfluger Library be established as the appointed group for that, to upkeep and to clean, and for the cleaning of the park, or my personal own Boy Scout troop, Troop 154. It would be perfect, and it would fall under Goal 3, subsection partnership with local organizations and institutions. I feel like it would be very nice, could re-involve us with a lot of local institutions. Everything stated in that small section, I think, would be pertaining to this in a way. I don't know, just food for thought, I suppose.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Director's report. Okay, so we got through our first summer reading program, which we reported on last month. September, we generally, and we did again this year, we take September off because we need to start planning for our upcoming events. So our next, if you look at our stats, we're still doing pretty good. We're still below where we were pre-COVID, but it's steadily going up. And I'm actually really pleased with some of the numbers that I'm seeing now that we're fully open and fully operating again. I didn't really expect it this soon to see our circulation stats go up quite that much, but happy to see that. We have promoted our youth librarian, Melissa Grzybowski, to the position of senior librarian, head of youth services. Hey, Matt. No, you're fine. You got a spot down there. And we have actually. We have hired, or we've made an offer to someone to fill the youth librarian position that was vacated when Amanda left and Melissa was promoted. So we're hoping to have that person start on October 3rd. Then we'll see 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten Challenge. We are participating in that. Parents can sign up through our online portal Beanstack. I, as you know, am on the Freedom to Read Foundation Board of Trustees. I am now the chair of the Fundraising and Membership Committee, and I am on the EDI committee also for that group.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry?
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. We currently have 3 active students on the online high school program, which is awesome. This is the program where they can get the actual high school diploma through a scholarship, and it's not a GED, it's an actual diploma. The Friends of the Library had a great book sale. Their opening day, I think they took in more than $800, and they're back in person doing the quarterly book sales now. We have a volunteer, Aaron Mills, who's been volunteering for the library for quite a while, who has joined the Friends of the Library, and he has been a huge help. He organized all of the books for the book sale by genre and by format, and he had all the little boxes labeled. It was great. It made it very easy.
Before we move on, I apologize. Do you want to say about giving the other books to the prison system?
Yes, leftover books, paperback books and CDs, and I think some DVDs were given to Books Beyond Bars, or Books Behind Bars, I think it is. Oh, no, it's Travis County
Just
Sheriff.
Travis County
Yeah.
detention system, like all the prisons at once took those to them, and they disseminate through all
Yeah,
the.
and Dawn is a huge help with that. She takes care of all of that for us, and I think it's a huge I love to see that the books don't get thrown away. We don't throw anything away. The books are given to those who need them. You guys had specifically asked about outreach, so I'm including on our director's report henceforth the PFISD summary. We now have a way for people to request outreach or a library tour online. Several tours have come through already. Our librarians went out to in-service meetings. They spoke to district librarians. They attended back-to-school nights. We also have a number of other library staff that go out there and do the outreach along with the Friends of the Library. Continuing with the PACE Parents Program, if you're not familiar with that, PACE is the school that's right across the street from us, and please don't ask me what PACE stands for because I can never remember, but our youth librarian, or senior youth librarian, Melissa, goes out there and participates in the PACE Parents Program, and that is for high school students who are parents. It teaches teen parents early literacy skills needed to help their babies get a head start on reading. And then there's also PACE Leadership, and Melissa goes out there and does these adulting classes with them. So it's practical skills like how to do your laundry and how to cook a meal and that sort of thing. And that is it. Do you guys have any questions on the director's report?
Just one.
Uh-huh.
What was the general tone or tenor from the district librarians in service meetings as to what they need from us or what they would like to see, or?
I do not have specifics on that, but I'll get that to you.
Okay.
I know you asked that
Just curious.
before, and I apologize for not including that.
Yeah. Thank you.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
The Freedom to Read Foundation, and is that a city organization, a library organization?
It's a national foundation. It partners with the American Library Association, but it is not part of the American Library Association. It's an independent foundation.
Nice.
Is the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, will that be an ongoing program, or is this something you guys are currently piloting for X amount of time?
I believe it's ongoing. Is that correct, Daniel? Yeah.
All right, do we have any other questions on that topic? All right, moving on to the report of the Friends of the Library activities.
Okay, well, I kind of
Or
reported a little bit. They do have some new people in their homebound delivery, which they've started up again. They took a hiatus during the pandemic from that to protect our homebound patrons and themselves. So homebound delivery, essentially anybody who has the need can, it's not just for seniors, anybody who has a need or has difficulty getting to the library can request to be put on that program, and we have volunteers from the Friends of the Library that will then take their materials out to them. People who participate in that program can either choose their materials online, and then we deliver them to them, or they can ask Dorothy, they'll tell her what type of things, she's our main contact person. They'll tell her what type of things they're interested in, whether it's horror or crime or cozy mysteries, and she'll choose things for them and take them out there. It's very, very popular.
All right, the update on the library surveys.
Library surveys. So thank you guys for your feedback and corrections on those surveys. I have sent them to Gwen, and she's working on them, and I hope that I will have something in the next week to report back to you about them going live.
And our discuss and consider action items, the 5-year plan.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the 5-year plan is back because we love it so much. It hasn't changed as far as the content goes from what we've discussed at the previous meetings. That's all still in there. Today, I just would like us to go over the format, make sure that, I know George has already sent me his corrections and his clarifications, so I will take that and incorporate that in here. But if you guys have any comments, please take a look at it. I don't have the year-end numbers in here yet because our year ends on the 30th of this month. But I will have them in by October.
The only thing that I noticed offhand, as far, you're saying format, I feel like the format is
Everywhere,
contiguous.
because that's what
Right.
we do.
Yeah.
All over the place, yeah.
Just if we can change the double dash to a M dash as you have it at the beginning.
Okay.
If you look at your first year, you've got M dashes, these right here.
Okay, I got you, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of indentation here,
Okay.
but
That was goal 6.
But I mean, we've beaten this thing 6 ways from
We
Sunday,
have.
so.
Daniel made a great suggestion. I had the corresponding goals in there, but it was just like eating up a lot of real estate, and Daniel suggested putting just the number of the corresponding goal down there, so that's what I've done. And that's the Aspire 2040 goals.
Oh, one question about how it's going to be presented to the public. It's on our website, right?
It is. It is available, well, right now, it's last year's because we haven't officially adopted this one and sent it to the council.
Daniel, are you responsible for that? Or
One of us.
one of
Yeah.
you? Well, is it possible to say, from the reader standpoint online, to have those, what do you call it, the corresponding city plan
Linked?
linked?
Yes.
So that would facilitate a lot of, I mean, it would
I
be a
don't
lot
know.
of back and forth, but on the other hand,
Yeah, I don't know
Most
that I
people
can
don't know
target
what
it
those
to
are.
a specific one, but I can target it to the
to the
Aspire, yeah.
document, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Depends on-
idea.
It depends on how they have it built on the other end. It should be a fairly direct, depending on how it's done.
You never know.
You can get it to a specific chapter.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, well, I just found myself when I was reading it, now which one is that? So, anyway,
is
I just gave up after a while.
the table of contents interactive? Like, can you click on
It's
control
not.
click?
It's a PDF document when it's
Okay.
online, but I guess I could still
put links
do
in the
that.
PDF,
I could put a
can't
link in there. I can try. I'm not that savvy, but
You
I'll
can put
try.
links. I know I built it with an F9. It was sorted year before last anyway, or last year. I don't know how they're re-encapsulating for dispersal though.
Link.
It's a PDF, it should at least be searchable.
It should be.
Yeah, it is.
Searchable at the very least.
It all depends on what they're uploading to. You know what I'm saying? If you're uploading to Confluence, it's gonna work one way.
I can
etc.
try.
There's gotta be a web address.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah. All right, do we have anything else on the 5-year plan before we move forward? All righty, moving on to the review of the annual library policies and procedures.
Okay, so as I said last month, I want to give you guys plenty of time to look over the previous, or the existing policies as they exist right now. There are no major plans to change things significantly in here. There are a couple of things that I thought that we might want to include, and I gave you a little recommendation sheet. The new things are in red. So under borrowing materials, we have had incidents where we've had materials come back with bed bugs or other pests. It does require quite, I promise you, inspect every item that comes back into the library for this, but we have caught it before. We also have, it's a very common thing in public libraries, we also have dogs that come quarterly and sniff the whole library to make sure that we are on top of things. But when these materials can come back, if we're not able to remove the problem, we have a book, what's called a book oven, and we actually bake the materials in there to kill any pests. But that all takes time. Sometimes the materials are just so bad that they have to be thrown out. But in any case, during the time that we're having to address the problem, we block the members' account, so they can't check out more items. And we keep it blocked until they come back to us with some sort of proof that they have taken care of the problem, because it's a health hazard. We're not trying to punish anybody. We're not going to charge them or anything. But it is a public health hazard, and we do have to take those steps. So I wanted to, it wasn't included, that part of it where we block your account until you take care of the problem was not included in our policies. I do want to put that in there. And it does say that if we can't treat the pests, then we'll charge it the same way we would in any other irreparably damaged item.
Quick question, do we have like a UV filter for
We
like
have
quick?
UV lights to
Yeah,
quickly look,
right.
to see if.
No, I mean, but like the UV that to remove some of the bacteria and stuff, like something quick.
We don't. We don't have something specifically for germs. We do wipe materials down when they come back. But that's something that, our budget passed, so.
Yeah.
That's something I could ask for, UV light. All right, that's a good idea.
Because it's a quick, I mean, you could literally have something turned on the book return.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get
And
all the pages.
That would be
but-
really good for bacteria or virus or something like that. The bugs do have to be baked,
Of
though.
course.
So, and then a display case, we've brought the display case up here to the Great Hall now, and we're going to add it to our list of spaces that people can display their artwork in, because we do have public gallery space here with our lovely quilts. So we've added that, and it works exactly the same as any other art show that gets booked at the library. There are forms that have to be filled out and a calendar that we have to put them on. Our art space, just an FYI, is already booked out through all of 2023. So we're now booking for 2024. And because of that, I've changed our display time from 4 to 8 weeks to just 4 weeks, because it gives more people a chance to show their artwork. Under challenged materials, I know Dawn had mentioned this the last time we talked about challenged materials, that we give a timeline after making a final decision on an item before we would consider that item again. The standard across the board, after conferring with some of my colleagues, is about 2 years. So I thought we could add that language. And also that I don't think I put in here initially that I would respond to the concerned party, and
Right.
I wanted to add that because I will respond to them. And then we had discussed putting in the language that the director was the responsible party for the collection. So if somebody has an issue, I'm the responsible person. I don't know how you guys
No,
are with that.
that's,
Okay.
I mean,
Like, I take responsibility for the collection, let's put it that way.
yeah, I mean, we all knew you did, but I just wanted to have it in here.
Having the language
since-
in there
Since we
is-
had
yeah.
that individual, you know what I mean, that was a very good example of here's where he poked at things, right? So it's like, let's make sure we, make it very, very clear. testable, quantifiable.
So those are my recommendations. Those certainly are not the absolute, this is all the recommendations we're going to consider. I expect that you guys will have recommendations of your own once you look through the policies. One of the things that I do want to be very cognizant of when we are looking through these policies is that the policies are not unfairly targeting any one group, or that we are using a language that's not inclusive. So I want to make sure that we stay away from pronouns and that we are not wording things in which would alienate a particular group or target a particular group in any of our policies unfairly. All right.
All right, do we have any questions about the procedures?
Why, so, sorry, why are we adding that you're the responsible party? What does that mean?
The responsible party means I'm the one that, if somebody is unhappy with the library collection or the materials in the library and they want to take it further, then I'm the one that.
Legally, like you would be, or
I
they
think,
would just come to you? I
well,
guess-
no, it would be, it's a way of not having the board be responsible for items in the collection if somebody were to be unhappy with it and take it to a legal entity.
But would you be personally protected from, as, like, being a
I have
public employee?
professional insurance,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
It was just a qualification that it's not just
That
generally
doesn't
the
mean that I
library,
have
or
the-
it's
yeah.
not the library board. It wasn't so much not, it was just making it clear so the person knew, okay,
The board is advisory, you're not a
Right.
governing board.
Right.
once she decides a
Right.
thing, it has been decided.
But I will not decide something without considering everybody's viewpoint. I don't believe in sort of a totalitarian regime, and by any means.
I just want to make sure you'd be fine, like, that
Oh, I'm
you're
fine.
not taking on any.
No, librarians actually have professional insurance.
Okay, great.
It's optional. We don't have to take it, but I do. So,
Is this the last time we'll do this, or look at this, or are we coming back to it
no, we're
next
coming
time?
back to it for
Oh,
sure. This is
okay.
the first glance.
Okay,
I expect that we'll spend several meetings going over the policies.
I, for example, will take this home and review it, is what
Yeah.
how my plan is, and then I will
And
not
you
be
guys don't have to agree with the recommendations. If you don't agree with them, or, you get home and you're like, this is weird or sketchy, feel free to bring that back.
All right. Do we have any other questions about anything library related? I don't want to say about anything. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Just talk about LibraryCon coming up.
Oh, yes, I haven't talked about it yet. Library Con. First of all, we have a Banned Book Week event coming up on let me back up even more. Voter registration is September 20th. We have people here from 10 to 6. English assistant is available all day. Assistance in Vietnamese is available from 1 to 4. And assistance in Spanish is available from 4 to 6. Banned Book Week is the 18th through the 24th, and on the 22nd, our adult services librarian, Betty, has a Banned Book Week celebration where you can make a charm bracelet with the cover of your favorite banned book, and you can read an excerpt from your favorite banned book. On the 24th is our big event. It's the biggest event we hold each year, and that is LibraryCon. And we call it LibCon because we're not allowed to say Comic Con anymore. They copyrighted that. So LibCon is a collection of artists, cosplayers, voice actors, animators, writers, you name it. They're going to be here. The full schedule is online, and the artists and guest profiles are online too. So it's a lot of fun, and you get to wear a costume. So. But you can wear a costume to the library any day. We are happy to have you do that.
Sad question, with the banned book thing. Do do local law enforcement know that we're going to do that at a certain time, et cetera, just in case people are they're acting out a lot?
They are aware of our schedule, not just for that, but also for LibCon, because we will have a lot of people here. It's probably, I mean, in the past, it's been well over 1,000 people. I don't know how it's gonna be, because it's right after the pandemic, so, but I expect it to be a lot. So yeah, when we have larger events, we do inform law enforcement about it, just to give them a heads up, we're gonna have a larger event.
I'm worried about
The friction.
the friction of the first event.
Um,
LibCon,
I-
I
and-
could see them ignoring, or
and I
that being a
understand
large
that,
content, a large populous thing, but the other one is.
Yeah, I understand that.
We're quelling everything these days.
We are in a community that's incredibly supportive, so I am very, I feel very lucky to be in this community. Also, I will be here for both events, and I don't anticipate any problems, but if there are problems, I have already spoken to the chief of police, and he is aware, so.
Great, yeah, it's a sad world, I don't want it to be that way, but unfortunately, I feel like we could check things now that we would have just cruised right on through and done whatever we were doing.
Yeah, you know, with the, and I'm not speaking about the book challenges or anything like that. I'm speaking just in general, things, when you have a lot of people, it can be a little bit overwhelming, I guess, or things could happen. So we do work with our police department, and they're awesome about it, so.
Definitely.
Mhm.
All right, do we have any other questions?
I feel like I spend a lot of the time talking, so I hope that you guys will come back on in October with a lot of things that I got wrong in the policies, so please.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, and a second? George? All right, we are done at 18:27.
Wow, you are really like neck and neck.